Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. This is Lunar Goddess Tarot. I'm Sarah, and I'll be your intuitive guide and your reader today. Now, we are on the heels of the first eclipse of 2021. We had a full moon total lunar eclipse, at least appearing in some parts of the world as totality, other parts of the world a partial eclipse, in the sign of Sagittarius the Archer. This is the sign of the collective South Node energy right now. So North Node is in Gemini collectively, South Node is in Sagittarius. And so the way this is playing out in the collective and the energies is that we are confronting or moving through rather the soul of the world. This is the kind of energy where we're going very deep into who we are, what we want, where we're going, most importantly with Sagittarius, because it is the Archer. So that's definitely a sign that has vision, a visionary, if you will. And Sagittarius represents international travel, higher learning, higher education, different cultures, different experiences, worldly experiences. I often think of, a pioneer energy with Sagittarius. And so the South Node the South Node currently being in Sagittarius for the collective, for the world, and the South Node representing past lives, karma, karmic cycles, clearing and cleansing. We would have felt a huge shift with this eclipse. Eclipses clear out. It's an eclipse. Like I always think of that song, Eclipse of the Heart. I think it was Bonnie Raitt, total eclipse of the heart. This is a total eclipse of things that aren't working for us. We are eclipsing out, closing out cycles. We are letting them go. The sun will no longer shine in those areas because they're no longer going to exist in our lives, in our psyche, in our ideas and belief systems. And so the world is shifting in rapid ways, even if it looks like we're standing still or pedaling backwards on the surface. There's still a lot of illusions at play, okay? And it's very important. And what I'm seeing in the collectives, what I'm seeing in the connections with private readings and just my own set of divine feminine, divine masculine friends, what I'm seeing is that we have been pulled away from our counterpart. Whether you're in communication, living together, married, in a committed relationship, or in no communication, little communication. There's so many different scenarios. Whatever the case, you've been pulled apart so that you can really focus on your individual missions at this time. And the divine masculine counterpart will appear to be cold and detached in some way at this time. You're going to be noticing a difference. The divine masculine energy is not engaging as much with the counterpart. And so we want to look within and say, where am I doing the work within with my divine masculine energy? Where am I pulling back, and where can I focus my energies on in my own life? We have to remember that this is energy. And if you guys want more information on this is the real twin flame dynamic. This is why we're here. It all goes back to you and your growth. These videos are never as popular as the videos I do on the counterparts, which is boggling to me and baffling, because these are the videos that are truly going to get you into union, truly going to bring you happiness, fulfillment, joy, wholeness. But people want to know what's going on in the connection. They want to know, they have to know. So that's sort of this, we have to pry ourselves and peel ourselves away from that addiction to needing to know what the physical counterpart is doing, because it's just you hanging out in another body. I'll put a link below to the video I did a few days ago. That's where I really introduced this concept. So if you're really wanting to go deeper and you're ready for that level, and not everybody is, and that's okay, but if you're ready for that, I'm going to put a link to the video I did talking about how to end the runner-chaser dynamic for good. And really how to get into union. You want to get into permanent union, this is what you need to know. This is what you need to understand. And it's nothing that you're going to see necessarily if you Google twin flames. And so a lot of people have been given misinformation. A lot of readers out there are only focusing on the karmics. They're only focusing on the divine masculine. Every time our eyes are peeled away from our own journey, our own pain, our own lessons, our own cycles, we are just slowing down the process of not only growth and expansion, but also getting into that physical desired place of union. So bring the focus back to you. And that's really what the shift is occurring with this Sagittarius full moon total eclipse. The shift is occurring within us. It's occurring on a global scale because Sagittarius represents the world, the globe, but it's also occurring within. It's helping us redefine our connection to nature and animals. And it's also helping us to understand our place in this great big world. So a lot of you are going to be delving further into what is my mission? Why am I here? What am I doing? How am I doing it? How am I contributing? And how can I make an impact? I think impact is a really significant word. I also want to point out before I get into the cards here, because I am going to pull some cards, but I also want to point out to you guys that if you've been following my community tab on YouTube, if you've come over to Patreon, I post updates there as well, you'll know that I'm very connected to the masculine energy. And since I made the decision to pull back from really focusing on them, they've been finding ways to come to me in the 3D and the 5D and the 4D. So I am being called to step back into a place, it cracks me up because this happens every time, of talking about the masculine energy, the masculine template, but I'm going to be doing it in a different way so that we're not just finding out what the masculine's doing in the 3D, okay? I want to find out about the energy of the masculine, the template of the masculine. You can be a feminine, you can be a female and hold that template, you can be a male and hold that template. You can be gay, you can be straight, you can be black, you can be white, you can be purple, you can be orange, it doesn't matter. It's energy. Okay, so I want to make that very clear, especially for my new listeners or somebody new to this journey. Okay, so I'm having these interactions with these masculines and they're mind-blowing. I'm going to talk more about it over on Patreon this weekend. I want to talk more about it, and because it's really fascinating. I don't remember my dreams last night, which was a godsend. I had an amazing 2-hour acupuncture session with some cupping to relieve some stress and tension. And so I think that really contributed to helping me sleep and helping me not dream, or at least not remember the dream, so that I can actually get some rest. But prior to that, I had been having dreams where the masculines were coming to me. Old friends, childhood friends, old, past lovers from years ago, coming to me for help, for guidance, pleading with me for assistance. Some of it regarding what's going on in the world as well. I'll talk more about that on Patreon. And also some of them coming to me who are just strangers, but younger masculines coming to me. Some of you were at that 5D pool party or 4D pool party because you reached out to me, not just one of you, but a few of you. So some of you were at that pool party, which I find phenomenal. So we're having pool parties in the 4D, guys. You're all invited, and these masculines, the younger masculines, younger physically, are very excited. They're very curious and they're ready. They're pumped. The older masculines are going through their own journey. They're in a different place on the journey. They're trudging through some things. They're cycling through, they're ending cycles. They're battling themselves at this moment, especially with this eclipse. The masculine energy finds it hard to let go, finds it hard to forgive themselves. They deal with the shame template a lot more than the feminine, whereas the feminine deals with the abandonment template. So the masculine's finding it hard to forgive themselves, but they're working through that at this time. Many of them are back in the bat cave and they're not wanting to communicate or associate. Like, it wouldn't matter if you said I was on fire, your masculine would likely still ignore that message because it's your inner masculine inviting you to take care of you. Okay, so let's get started. I've got a few minutes here before I have to run, so I do want to get into some cards, and I'm really being called to start with the Work Your Light cards. I hope you guys enjoyed that almost 10-minute introduction. I find it interesting. I find it more impactful for me to do an introduction and talk and not just read cards the entire time. So I hope you enjoyed that, and if you decided to skip it, your loss. Just kidding. Sort of. If you decided to skip it and just go to the cards, that's okay. But there's a lot of pertinent information that I share in those updates, and that's there for a reason. Oh, also sleep. Any of you not sleeping in the lead up to the eclipse? Because I finally slept last night, but the 3D stress has been really, really loud lately for me. Extremely loud, pulling me away from work, pulling me away from social engagements. Just 3D stress in your personal life was probably at an all-time high with this eclipse. The There's no rest for the weary or the wicked because we have a solar eclipse in 2 weeks. I'll talk more about that when that comes. All right, so overall energies. Break the chain, ancestral patterns, healing. Wow, okay. Guys, I started to do a written reading last night and I just was exhausted. I was absolutely demolished from the past week in my 3D world. But this is exactly, I wish I had a screenshot of it because this is exactly what I started to write about. And this is what I'm going to write about for that reading. Healing, rewriting the future. This is what I forgot to mention. So this is exactly what's going on. Thank you, Spirit. What's happening is we're healing ancestral trauma right now in a major way. And as we heal this ancestral trauma, guys, okay, as we come out on the other side of this, we are coming to this place of understanding of our role. This is about mission. This is about understanding that you are the person in your family to break the ancestral chain, to go through and heal that trauma. I want to let you know, for any of you interested in acupuncture, I found an amazing acupuncturist who happens to also know about the 8 incredible points in the body that correspond to trauma, that help you heal generational trauma, intergenerational trauma. Intergenerational trauma is carried it's encoded in your DNA, it's carried in your cells. That means you can be feeling the pain or loss or grief or anger of your ancestors that was unprocessed by them. That does not mean that it's yours. That does not mean that you have to attach to it. It does not mean that it cannot be healed. It just means that you're you're here to heal it. That's a mouthful. Peter Piper picked a Okay, so it means that you're here to heal it, and you're here to break that chain once and for all for past generations so they can sleep easy now, okay? And for future generations. It's our job. It's a job, and it's part of what we're here to do. And this eclipse is playing a huge, huge part in karma. Let's see if there's anything else that maybe the book wants to add to this. Where are you? There we go, action cards. What old ways of being from your family line are you ready to let go? Seek assistance from your support team, tribe, friends, healer, coach, etc. to begin freeing yourself from it now. This is actually something I'm being called to do. So I'm being called to assist in doing so. I'm going to be offering readings here in the near future where we're going to look into certain energies, but we're also going to be doing energy clearings during that reading. So that's something that's really calling for me as part of my mission work. So notice the shifts that are coming up within you. Notice how that is impacting your generational line and also impacting others, impacting the collective movement that's happening right now towards awareness, ascension, growth, expansion, understanding, breaking away from the overlords, if you will, the overlords of TV, the overlords of media, the overlords of the news, the overlords of big pharma and big tech, and we're starting to break away and create these little mini communities, and that's going to be happening more and more. Growing our own food, coming together, helping raise villages, raising each other's children, helping to support each other, so that it won't necessarily matter. Like, we're moving away from the template of needing to have that one person and just rely on that one person for the rest of your life. And we're moving to the template of community, where you have a whole community to rely on, where not everyone's going to choose partnership. Some people are going to choose community, or they'll choose both. But it's not one or the other, but we are moving to this place where we're going to be supporting one another in a much more profound way. And you're going to start seeing the shift over the next, 2 decades or so. But the seeds have already been planted. You are being called to heal your family line or free yourself from living the life of your ancestors. This could mean letting go of an old pattern of your maternal or paternal line, healing trauma from the past that is not even yours, or observing old ways of being that no longer serve you. So a lot of you with this eclipse were also sitting back and being able to be aware that you're the observer. watching something. You're the observer, but you're not the ego. The ego is the one who is acting from a place of pain or fear or hurt or anger. The soul sits back and just watches, doesn't necessarily engage, but observes and watches. We carry emotional trauma in our luminous field for up to 7 generations back. This is why family patterns can be the hardest to break. Often they are not even ours to begin with. But we do know another way of being, and so we continue playing out. We do not know another way of being, so we continue playing out the drama. The thing to notice when ancestral healing comes up is that you cannot heal another person, but your own healing can cause another person to choose to heal. Energy is freed up. You are being guided now to look at your life and decide how you want it to be. What ways of being or patterns are you ready to free yourself from? What part of your future do you want to rewrite? Now is a time to shake them off and dream a new future into being. It's exactly what we're doing. So actually, on that note, I do want to take a look here at the hero's journey, and I want to look at unfortunately I'm short on time, but I thought this is very important that I get this reading in today. My 3D world has just been filled with all kinds of, it's like busyness. I hate that word busy, but it's been very, very nonstop. I wanted to let you guys know too, I'll be out of town next Wednesday through Sunday. I'll actually be visiting my alma mater and with another divine feminine. We're going to go enjoy some natural springs. We're very excited about that. We're going to go just floating down the lazy river, and we're going to be staying in my college town, so I'm super excited, and just going to enjoy some time together. Likely we'll make a video or two. We're going to be relaxing, but I have a feeling we're going to want to make a video or two while we're there. Okay. Yeah, say yes to your higher calling. This is all about that Sagittarius South Node. This is all about you. What gifts are you bringing over from past lives? That's the South Node energy. Yes, it's about your karma that you're bringing over, the entanglement of the karma with other souls, but it's also about your gifts and your uniqueness that you're able to bring into this life, and you're able to help you to break those chains of karma. Be a human exclamation mark. So this is like a fuck yes. Like if it's not a fuck yes, why are you going to do it? And this is in all areas of your life, right? Make it a fuck yes. Make it a definite. Make it an absolutely. And not maybe so. Say yes to your higher calling. This is definitely going to, some of you are going to really resonate with this, and some of you are going to just feel like, I don't even know what I'm supposed to be doing. I don't even know why I'm here. I can't relate to that yet. That sounds great, but I'm just not there yet. Either way, it's okay, but I see both groups. I can feel the energy of both groups. But trust your yes. Trust yourself that you're going to be able to lead yourself to where you need to be, to where you want to be. This is really about trusting you. And give it a hearty yes to the adventure that your soul wants to take at this time. What adventure does your soul wish to take? What direction do you wish to go? This is about packing lightly. And what's so interesting about that is that's exactly what Ariana and I were talking about for this trip, is we're going to pack lightly. Like last time we went to the mountains and we were crazy about our food because we both have allergies and food sensitivities, and I'm vegan and she's mostly vegan. It's like, what are we going to get up in the mountains? And we could have just gone to the damn store and we would have figured it out. And so we brought our blenders and we brought this and we brought that, and we hired a chef to pack our food, and it was so crazy. And so now we're just like, you know what? It's a great little vegan town. We're going to find food. There's grocery stores. We're not going to fuss. We're not going to worry. We're just going to pack lightly. We're going to basically pack a bag and get on the road. And that's what we're being called to do in our lives right now. You want to feel free right now. Wide open arms, wide open heart, expansive heart, mind, body, soul. And you can say yes to all of it, but don't stress yourself out with it at the same time. So also knowing that when it's time to move on to something because something else is calling us, okay, something else is, she's being called and pulled by this full moon, which is very fascinating because we just had this full moon. She's being called by the tides of the moon. So whatever your heart or your soul, your body, your mind is calling you towards, you can say yes to that, and you can say no to something. This is also about saying no to something that's not working so you can say yes to something else. So when it's time for you to release and move on, we can do so with pleasure, with gratitude. with gratefulness in our heart, but also appreciating all the experiences that we're having at this time. And understand that we're not attached to things, right? We're not attached to things. It's like, so what if I forget flip-flops? What if I forget a bathing suit? You buy another one. You know, it's like you'll find toothpaste where you're going. They'll have clothes. They'll have a hairdryer. They'll have deodorant. Like, don't worry about it. Okay, so wherever you're going, pack lightly, because you're going to find what you need there. I promise you, you're going to meet the right people. They're going to fall into your serendipitous moments are happening right now for the collective, and you're going to find that people just fall into your path. Okay, I was called yesterday. My neighbor's son just moved back from California, and we had this deep conversation. And on the surface, he looks very different. On the surface, he could easily be judged. Easily. And even caught myself doing it a little bit. But once we got talking, he has depth. He's had a lot of pain. He's had loss. And I was able to hold space for him. I was even able to channel some messages from his brother who had passed through suicide. This masculine needed to be loved. He needed to be seen. He needed to be heard. And he needed to be held. Not even physically, just holding the space. Masculines are in need right now. Masculines are rising. They're understanding that vulnerability is strength. It's not their weakness. It's never been their weakness. It's their only strength, right? Our only strength is to be vulnerable in this world. We push it down. That's not strength. We're pushing away love. We're pushing away connection. Make room for new experiences. Let them happen. Stop judging yourself. Stop judging your environment. Stop judging your circumstances. Stop judging life and just let it be. Stop judging other people. You're so ready for this. This is about maximum soul growth. You're getting the right people, the right places, the right situations are popping up into all of our lives. I know that I was placed in his path for a reason, 100%. And he's just passing through here. He's not going to stay. But I have a feeling we'll be friends, maybe even for life. And you'd look at us on the surface and say, there are two different people. Not so much. Beautiful, beautiful moments are happening and transpiring. Before I go, and I'm so sorry I have to cut this short, guys. I actually really could stay here for like 2 hours. There's just so much energy. It's just being sorted through right now that we're pushing through. I will try to get on later, but I can't make any promises. Like I said, I've just got a lot going on in the 3D, like I'm sure a lot of you do. And I miss you guys. I miss doing the readings, and at the same time I have to honor my obligations. Ionia, everything in perfect balance. Well, she's come up again and again for us. Look at this. Oblivion, open your arms. Ionia we've talked about, so I'm going to kind of leave that there. But it's just about that inner balance. This is we're achieving that inner balance within ourselves. Oblivion, opening your arms to possibility, opening your arms, opening your heart, vulnerability. She's got the flowers on her back, which to me is like when you've got your back turned, you're at your most vulnerable. Because you don't know who's there. You don't know what their intentions are, what they're going to do, and you're trusting. It's interesting. She's got the flowers taped to her back. It's almost like an offering to vulnerability. Open up your arms to the possibility to say yes to your higher calling, to the possibility that you can actually break free from your ancestral patterns and that you can move forward, divine feminine or divine masculine watching. I know there's divine masculine watching because you guys are coming to me every which way from every direction. So I know you guys are quiet right now, very quiet. And I know that you're in the bat cave. I also know that you're simmering, you're cooking, so to speak. You're that sounds weird to say, right? But you're not quite ready. It's like we've said this before, the analogy of the brownie or the cupcake or the cookie, you're not quite ready to be taken out. So you don't want to be disturbed, but you do want to be heard. And that's what I'm feeling. That's what I'm understanding. So I'm here to be your voice. And we're not going to delve into what you're doing in your 3D world so much. We're going to just check into the energies of the masculine template. And let's actually get one card for the masculine. There we go. Effervescence. So the masculine energy is cultivating the love inside of themselves. Cultivating, the growth. She's got this vine growing through her, growing around her, cultivating the love that exists within you, divine masculine. I mean, big, huge congratulations to you for working on yourself, for opening your heart, And it's interesting because look, both counterparts, the feminine energy, open your arms, the masculine, cultivate love. You're both working on opening your hearts again after hurting each other, after being hurt by life, after being hurt by other people, after being going through a lot of fear and loss and sadness. Now you don't want to hurt each other anymore. So if there's distance in your connection, understand that you're both working to open your heart, open your lives, open your arms. I send you guys so much love and abundance and blessings and joy. I stand in gratitude for this journey, no matter how hard it gets, and for each and every one of you for joining me on this journey, for supporting me here over on Patreon and asking for private readings. I'm still really backed up, guys, with emails. I'm going to be completely honest. I have not had time to get to those. I may not be able to get to those until after my trip. So understand, I will resume private readings after my trip. I've made that decision. So if you don't hear from me before then, just know that I haven't forgotten about you if you've emailed me. And I send you guys lots of love. Talk to you soon.